What if achieving everything you ever wanted is the exact thing that's slowly destroying you? We've been conditioned to believe that success is the cure, the promotion, the money, the recognition. But what happens when you hit a milestone and it feels exactly like a failure? Not because you didn't achieve it, but because it was never your dream to begin with. This is the invisible psychological erosion of living someone else's version of success. Today, we're dismantling the internal erosion that happens when your trophies mask a hollow identity. We're talking about the specific cognitive dissonance of succeeding into a life you never actually asked for. This isn't just about career burnout, it's about the total paralysis of your soul's agency. You look successful from the outside, but inside, something is missing. In part 1, we dig into why your trophies might be your biggest cage. Welcome to the dismantling of borrowed ambition. Stick around for part 2, where we look at the neurochemistry of why this feels so exhausting. Let's look at the mechanics of this. Psychology tells us that cognitive dissonance occurs when our actions and our beliefs don't align. But when you live for someone else's version of success, that dissonance becomes your permanent baseline. Every morning, you wake up and put on a mask. You say yes to the promotion, yes to the house, yes to the status, but your intuition is screaming no. There's a strange moment that no one prepares you for. You reach the thing you worked for, and instead of relief, you feel pressure. Instead of pride, you feel pressure. Instead of fulfillment, you feel nothing. Because from the outside, you look successful. But inside, something feels off. This is the paradox. This burnout, the borrowed ambition burnout, is different. It's neurochemical. Your brain views the effort as a threat. When you chase a ghost's dream, you are stuck in a permanent state of fight or flight. Your authentic self is literally being hunted by your performative self. Stay tuned for part 3, where we talk about the paralysis of your soul's agency. The most dangerous tax you pay is the loss of your agency. When you spend years following a societal map, your internal compass eventually breaks. You find yourself unable to make even simple decisions because you've outsourced your why to your parents, your peers, or your social feed. You aren't a driver anymore. You're a passenger in a car heading toward a destination you hate, and you've forgotten how to touch the steering wheel. Most men don't choose their dreams. They inherit them. From parents, from society, from comparison, from fear. You're told what success should look like. A stable career, more money, more status. So you chase it. Not because you want it, but because you were taught to want it. And the scary part? You don't even realize it's not yours. Every step you take is following a blueprint someone else wrote. This is where the erosion becomes permanent. You lose the driver's seat of your own life. We're stuck in the golden cage. Stick around for part 4, where we talk about the social mimicry loop and why it's so hard to stop. Why is it so hard to stop? The answer lies in social mimicry. Evolutionarily, being cast out of the tribe meant death. Today, the tribe is your professional circle or your family's expectations. We enter a loop where we trade our internal peace for external validation. This creates something dangerous. The mental friction between who you are and what you do every day. Your mind knows, your intuition knows, but you keep moving anyway. Every ignored no slowly rewires your identity until you don't recognize the person in the mirror. You start performing success because the applause feels like safety. But validation is a depreciating asset. The high lasts a week, then a day, then barely an hour. You are now a high-functioning addict, chasing a hit of good job to numb the hollow identity. The applause is the only thing keeping the silence away, but it's never enough. You don't even like who you've become. Stick around for part 5, where we talk about exhuming the authentic self and how to finally break the loop. So, how do we stop the erosion? It starts with exhumation. You have to dig beneath the layers of should. Burnout isn't always caused by working too hard. Sometimes it's caused by working on the wrong things. You're building a life your soul never agreed to. And the longer this continues, the more disconnected you become. From yourself, from your purpose, from your voice. We have to distinguish between intrinsic motivation, the stuff you'd do if no one was watching, and extrinsic pressures. Think about the last time you felt a genuine spark of curiosity that had nothing to do with your resume. That spark is the breadcrumb trail back to your agency. The recovery of the self isn't a loud explosion. It's a series of quiet, uncomfortable no's. It's the moment you decide that being misunderstood by society is a fair price to pay for finally being understood by yourself. It's time to come home. Stick around for the final part 6, where we wrap it all up and answer the one question that matters. Living someone else's dream is the most expensive mistake you will ever make. It costs you your time, your health, and eventually, your identity. When you ignore your intuition long enough, you stop hearing it. You wake up successful, but completely lost. The ghost you are chasing doesn't exist. The version of you that society wants is a shadow. Today, I want you to ask yourself one terrifying question. If I lost every title, every accolade, and every dollar tomorrow, who is the person that's left standing? Because that person, the one who exists without the noise, is the only one worth saving. Stop building a monument to a life you don't want to live. It's time to come home to yourself. The journey starts with one honest answer. Finally understood, finally whole, finally yours. Thank you for joining me on this journey. Subscribe for more deep dives into the human experience. It's time to reclaim your life.